Hey folks, this is Mike from the Nerdist Colony, joining you once again. If you haven't done so far, please subscribe, and if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Well, what do we have for you today? Well, I have to say it's a special one. I've reached new nerdy lows, having to sit up until 2 AM watching the live version of Game of Thrones, just so it can't be spoiled for me. So in today's episode, this will be Season 6, Episode 9, The Battle of the Bastards. Just to give you the heads up though, this will be the spoilery version, for two reasons. Facebook can't keep a secret, and neither can I. Now let me just get this out of the way first and foremost. Anyone that said to you that they knew what was going to happen in last night's episode is an absolute liar. Which is one of the reasons why George R.R. Martin takes us on such a thrill ride with Game of Thrones. However, one great tradition in Game of Thrones series is that episode 9 always seems to deliver. Be it for good reasons or for bad reasons, aka Red Wedding. Not forgetting Battle on the Wall and the Hardhome episode. I really wish I could have recorded me watching last night's episode. I think it would have been a much funnier video. I found myself screaming at the TV at 2 AM with either me screaming yes, 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 or no, 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 no. And that is the thrill ride that this episode took us on. I genuinely feel emotionally violated. I knew where the episode wanted to take me, but I didn't know if it was going to take me, which is why I was so worried. The episode opened with the attack on Meereen, with Daenerys showing an evil side, not seen since her father. However, when she appeared in the castle courtyard, in front of the masters, and in the background you could see the ships launching a sustained attack on Meereen's pyramids, I just thought to myself, this is not going to end well for these guys. After a couple of seconds of dialogue, I heard the dragons screech, and the hair stood up on the back of my neck. I have to genuinely say my nipples went erect with excitement when the dragons swooped in on top of the castle keep, and then flew to the floor, behind Daenerys. When she mounted the dragon and took flight, I kind of wished that the episode would just switch back to Jon Snow. My butthole was clenched tighter than a duck's ass, as I genuinely feared for Jon and Sansa. I mean, okay, let's look at this logically. The Jon Snow storyline hasn't gone anywhere yet. With Brandon having the sight of the three-eyed raven, there's always that fear that will kill Jon Snow off and explain his storyline through Brandon. So as excellent as that opening sequence was with the dragons, I was already down to my knuckles biting my fingernails. When the scene finally opened, on the fields outside of Winterfell, Ramsay approached with a few of his bannermen. After a few seconds of witty retorts, Jon tries egging Ramsay into a fight. Not since Joffrey have I hated a character so much in Ramsay Bolton. I guess that's just the acting talents of Ewan Rion. I pronounced that right, didn't I? The dorky, quiet guy from Misfits, let's just call him. He's done an excellent job to portray a character that everybody hates. I would imagine personally that if I saw him in the supermarket, I'd want to smack him in the face with a tin of beans. That's not just a sign of a great actor though, that's a sign of great writing. And that's where Game of Thrones succeeds, where you can portray characters like Ramsay Bolton, because his character oozes smugness, and that's why we love to hate him. After unsuccessfully managing to try to goad him into a fight, we end up back in camp, where Jon Snow stood on the table with his generals. When they all leave the tent, Sansa basically gives him a stark warning. See what I did there? Pardon the pun. And if my butthole could have clenched any tighter, you could have stuck a lump of coal up my ass and turned it into a diamond. Because no matter what was going to happen, I knew it was going to be bad. Meanwhile, back in Meereen, Daenerys was doing a deal with the Greyjoy twins. Okay, not twins, but brother and sister. And man, was there some sexual chemistry there. Not with Theon, but with his butch sister and Daenerys. Queen on queen action. I was kind of frustrated at this point though. I really wanted the episode to go back to the fight, so I could see what was going to happen, to get over the horrible part that was coming, or make me cheer. When Ramsay rode up on his horse and I saw he had a rope in his hand, I knew what was going to happen. I wasn't sure how it was going to go down, but I just feared. Through Sansa's last warning, and all the time I was thinking to myself, please Jon, don't fall for it. Now I don't want to think about this too much, but why that kid couldn't have run in a zigzag pattern was just beyond me. But it left Jon exposed in the middle of the field when Rickon took one arrow to the heart. My heart began to race. Then what proceeded next was a battle of epic proportions. Not since the Siege of King's Landing has there been a battle scene with even the Hardhome episode didn't come close to this one. It was bloody and it was brutal, and all seemed lost as Jon Snow was getting trampled to death. I don't want to go into too much detail here, but When the Knights of the Vale finally turned up, I literally needed Kleenex. Because I was crying, okay? Not because of the other thing, you dirty-minded so-and-sos. Defeated and beaten, Ramsay ran back to Winterfell, but my blood was boiling, and I was thirsting for revenge. However, when after all was said and done and Winterfell was finally taken back, another beloved character was killed off. Albeit a secondary beloved character. As Jon was laying the smackdown on Ramsay, I just wanted him to kill him. But I wanted more revenge. I wanted sweet justice. In the closing moments of the show, Sansa finally got her bloodthirsty revenge, feeding Ramsay to his own dogs. At the time, I kind of wanted Ghost to turn up and eat his face off. But looking back, I actually thought it was a better way for him to go out of the show. All in all, that episode rocked, and I totally agree with other reviews that have give it 10 out of 10. It's just a shame that episode 9 is always the better episode, and next week will be fluffed up with subplots for next season. However, from what I've heard, there'll only be 7 episodes for the next 2 seasons, and then that'll be it. Which is a shame for all those fantasy nerds, because even though this show takes us on an emotional roller coaster, we never feel that 10 episodes is enough. Thanks for listening to me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up and please subscribe. We'll leave you with next week's finale trailer. Peace out.
Are you prepared to stand trial and profess your guilt or innocence before the 7?
We need to trust each other. We have so many enemies now.
The Freys and the Lannisters send their regards.
What do you want?
I thought you knew what I wanted.
Tell him what you did to her. Tell him!
Are you afraid? Good. You're in the great game now. And the great game is terrifying.